Dana was asked what's next for Sean Strickland in the UFC 293 post-fight press conference, and he said Izzy makes sense, the rematch. So I mean, you could tell Dana was definitely Uncle Dana was pissed off that Sean won the title. He did not want to, the way this is his body language, his facial expression. I don't know if it was just, like I said, a moment captured in time that just where he had a like fuck face, like fuck this face, or damn it, or whatever. I lost a shit ton of money tonight face, or was that just what his true thoughts were? Maybe he was happy for Sean Strickland. I don't know. It doesn't seem like Sean Strickland was the guy, the champ that the UFC wanted, but they got him. And, Uncle Sean, like I said, he's that everyone's favorite cousin or uncle at the bar mitzvahs or at the quinceañeras. He's a funny guy. He's a funny guy. He just rambles crazy. He's just funny. He's a funny dude. You know what I mean? But he's no filter, says whatever the hell he wants. And I think that was rubbing off throughout the card anyway. But like, what's next for him? I think these infinite rematches or second chances, I think it needs to end. I mean, not to beat a dead horse, but Izzy's lost, 2 out of his last 3. So, I mean, I don't think he should get that match yet. If you look at the middleweight picture, you got Dricus du Plessis right there waiting. He's on an 8-fight win streak. And 9 wins by knockout, 10 by submission. So that's an intriguing matchup for Strickland because but the thing is, like, the one advantage I could see Strickland having is as gas tank. He just went 5 rounds with Izzy, one of the best middleweights of all time. They're even talking GOAT, so I know they throw that word around too much. But he went 5 rounds, made it look easy, with barely breathing hard at the end of the fight. And Dricus, I mean, he kind of does look like he gasses after a round or 2. Round and a half, he's already huffing and puffing. I don't know if that was due to the nose problem he was having, nasal, and he had surgery, and that corrected it. But either way, he's had a little issue. So, I mean, he's definitely dangerous. I think Dricus is the most dangerous guy right now at middleweight as far as striking and the way he could mix in his wrestling. And we've seen what he did at Whitaker on the ground. I mean, he just big brothered him. He's a big dude. He's big, solid, thick, strong guy. Like, maybe he could be at 205. I don't know. I'm not sure, if he would even make that weight. I don't know how much weight he cuts and all that, but he's a big boy. You know what I mean? He's a big man. So, and he has that style too, where he takes a lot of chances, he gets hit. So, I mean, but with Sean Strickland having that good jab that he keeps pumping out, I think that could be a game changer in that fight. The pace of Strickland, the pressure, we'll see if he could take Dricus's punch. But that's one thing too. It is interesting with this matchup because if Dricus, I think we will see Strickland's wrestling. Like his legendary, that legendary grappling that he's had in practice. That he's manhandling freaking all these like light heavyweights and Ankalaev and all these guys, but we haven't really seen it because he always just comes straight forward, high step, just one step at a time, just right in front of you, Philly shell, just throwing jabs all night and just in your face all night. So, I mean, that's something that we haven't seen yet, and I think Dricus is the guy who could possibly bring it out, and we'll see the full potential. But actually, looking at this division, I mean, you got Robert Whitaker coming off a loss because he just lost to Dricus. Cannonier, he actually has a win over Sean Strickland. It was a close fight. I thought Sean took that fight, but it was one of those ones that could have went either way. Rounding out the top 5, Marvin Vettori. Izzy at the top, obviously, number 1. But Paulo Costa, he's ranked 6. He's tied up with the Khamzat fight, which is another interesting one just because of the star power in those two. I mean, if that fight actually happens, like if one of those guys win, I mean, they could even be next. I don't know how long Dricus, I think he's probably already available. I think he just wasn't available to fight Izzy on short notice, but I think he is available now, and he'll be fine. Like, by the time Strickland fights all the time. So, I mean, he's very active. So, Izzy was also an active champ. I feel like it shouldn't be an immediate rematch. Not this time. But for Izzy, that's another thing. That's another story. I mean, him and Dricus makes sense no matter what, but at the same time, Dricus is right there in line. Whitaker just lost. Izzy already beat him twice. He beat Cannonier. He beat Vettori twice. I mean, unless Izzy sits around and waits for the winner of Khamzat Costa, that would make sense, I think, because he's beat everybody else and he has a win over them. Like, even though he already beat Paulo Costa, he did defeat him pretty easily. So that's kind of like an asterisk. If Khamzat wins, make Izzy Khamzat next. If Costa wins, then maybe Izzy could get the winner of Duplessis and Sean Strickland. Like he could, if Sean comes out on top. And then other story, man, look at number 8. Like Derek Brunson he got released from the UFC today too. So that's a hit, and he was actually ranked 8th. I mean, 12. Yeah, that's just. I mean, he's a vet. I mean, never really always kind of lost to the upper echelons. Top 5, top 6-ish. He was always kind of like hovering right around there. Still one of the best in the world. I mean, in any given night, he could do his thing. But yeah, round out the top 10. Yeah, I mean, honestly, these guys, I see Sean Strickland matching up decent with all these guys, and mainly because of the cardio and because of his defense. Honestly, he displayed some great defense. I mean, obviously, he's not a boxer. He's a 80-time fighting. He fought 80 fights in kickboxing. So, I mean, he definitely has a lot more tools than just boxing. But at the same time, Strickland was able to defend mostly everything. He checked kicks. He was using basically a boxing defense and just smothering, putting the pressure, and just a constant pace where he wasn't gassed at all. He could have went another few rounds, if he wanted to. So I mean, he matches up well with everybody, and in that regard, when it comes to just, I don't see any crazy wrestlers in the top 5, or really even the top 8. Like I said, now with Brunson gone, the top 10, there's really not very many crazy wrestlers in there. I mean, so I could see, other than Khamzat, so Khamzat, if he comes in and smokes Costa, then he's coming for the belt next, or Izzy, which that fight makes sense too. I think for Izzy, that's a big money fight, and maybe he could be. I don't know though. I think just Khamzat with the grappling, come in and just. I don't think Izzy's that easy to take down, but at the same time, Khamzat just like he's a tornado coming at you, and he's just grabbing he's a Tasmanian devil in there. He's like an overgrown Khabib, no holds barred. If you don't take him out immediately, he's gonna get a hold of you. He'll get a hold of Izzy, and it'll be a wrap, I think. So, but with Strickland, that'd be interesting, and imagine that build up. You got Khamzat, his wild, crazy ass character that he is. Then you got Sean Strickland, Uncle Sean or Cousin Sean, So, I mean, that'd be a crazy press conference build up, everything. They probably party together, I think. I think those two guys kind of probably could get along just because they're so freaking similar and crazy, type mindset when it comes to fighting. But I kill everyone, Then you got Strickland, like I said, Cousin Sean. But, yeah, I don't know. So, what do you guys think? What's next? Is it the rematch with Izzy, Dricus, some new blood? I mean, it's kind of more interesting now because for sure there's more matchups. Izzy already beat everybody other than Sean. Like he pretty much wiped out everybody. He beat some of these guys multiple times. So this just opens the door for many new matchups in the middleweight. So yeah, I don't know. Tell me what you guys think on that. I think, like I said, for me, I don't think the rematch. No, I think we got to see Duplessis get his shot, and I think Uncle Dana, because at first he was leaning the rematch, but he's seen the star power potential of Sean, and he's like, you know what? Nah, I think, and he is a troll himself, and he's on Twitter actively, so he read some stuff and was like, you know what? Nah, everybody, the people, let's give the people what they want. Everyone talking shit on Dana, too, just because you could tell he was butthurt over, but Izzy losing, but at the same time, Sean's blown up, you know what I mean? So he's everywhere. Everybody's making videos on him. Everyone's interviewing him. I mean, just his personality, he's just a cool ass dude, and he's champ now. It's just like he's an everyday guy, so I think he's relatable to a lot of people, or a lot of people could relate to him. Like I was saying, just like the guy at the freaking open mic or open bar, or whatever, he's that dude. Like just that funny energy, But yeah, so that's all I got on the middleweights.